We are back, yes, talking about women who have gone through abuse, any sort of abuse, whether it's sexual abuse, abuse at workplace, abuse at home. We are talking about you. Sometimes you feel that you've carried so much that you mean everything means nothing to you. You feel like you're nothing. You feel like you're nobody. But guess what? There's an organization called Ladies of All Nations that has arrived to tell you that yes, you are somebody who needs to be celebrated. And hey, we have Shalini here, who is one of the ambassadors for Ladies of All Nations, and we're talking about the great event on the 31st. Now listen, for anybody who's never attended an event by Ladies of All Nations, tell them how these events are always amazing, because there's this sense of unity at these events.
Yes, absolutely. It's bringing the women together.
Yes.
It's something to celebrate, and the beauty is that they're from all ethnic and from all walks of life, from all nationality. So it's not just something that I believe that a lot of people just generally, when they hear the word women empowerment, it's just so very misconstrued, and people think, oh my God, you know, women who are very aggressive, non-compromising.
Feminism,
yes,
like, you know,
but it's not like that. And I truly believe in that women actually do not need empowering. They are very strong.
They're already empowered. They just need to be given that space.
Yes.
I mean, look at Caroline, the founder of Ladies of All Nations.
Absolutely.
She's such a beautiful spirit. She's such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. I mean, you can't fault that. You can't say that woman needs empowerment. She's already empowered.
Yes.
You know.
And I believe that it's the perception of other people, of women, that needs to be changed. It's not the women. And when you speak to Caroline, you speak to her for 5 minutes, you feel so inspired, you feel motivated, and that's
you feel loved. You feel loved.
Absolutely. So that's what it's all about.
You know, you feel loved, and that's why everything that she does, I say, you know what, I have to put my hands in as well. I have to come in, I have to support, because what she does is always, she thinks of humanity first.
Yes.
You know, she thinks of bringing people, making people comfortable first.
Yes.
You know, as we speak now, there's people going through pain.
Yeah.
You know, there are people, as you say, probably somebody's marriage is just ending.
Yes.
Maybe somebody's going through some domestic abuse. Maybe somebody's just going through sexual abuse, and they have nobody to talk to. But guess what? Ladies of All Nations International is there, guys. So please do get in touch with the organization. The people that work in this organization, some of them have been through what you have been through, so it's easy to talk to them, isn't it?
Yes.
The ambassadors, they've been through what, you know, what the organization is about, you know, supporting women, lifting them up and telling them, you know what, you're valid, you matter, and you're a queen.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
You're a queen. I mean, to stand on stage, to be given the platform to narrate your story.
Yes.
That you have never narrated. Like you're saying, for instance, you only, after so many years, how many years? 30 years?
Yes, almost.
That you decided, you know what, you could now talk about your story.
Yes.
And I'm sure it almost lifted, you know, your shoulder. And there's a lot of, you know, you're free. You feel like you're free. Isn't that right?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think the more reason of actually sharing that was that to be able to inspire others. And I really believe even if one of them looked at me, that just because of you I did not give up, would make it all worthwhile in the end. So that's and Ladies of All Nations, it's not just about the domestic violence, but they help the orphans as well, widows as well. So there's so much that the support the women do need, because coming from all walks of life, from traditional and orthodox families, you don't know what the setup is and where these women are coming from, or what they're going through. So you've got to cater to everyone's needs as well as to what kind of support they need. And it is there. Sometimes, especially when we talk about domestic violence, it's not just the physical abuse. And when we say domestic violence, the first thing that comes to your mind is the physical abuse. But it's not just limited to that. It's the emotional and mental abuse as well. And a lot of women going through this generally think that, well, I'm not being beaten up, so it's okay. And I believe that as soon as a woman or anyone makes themselves that I'm the victim, and I think they make themselves more vulnerable, and they are just sinking in that hole.
Yes.
And the most important thing, if anyone out there is actually watching, the most important thing is to talk to someone.
Yes.
Whether, if depending on their circumstances, if they think it's a criminal offense that's been committed, they need to contact the police. Or if they think that's too drastic of a step, talk to your GP, talk to a friend, but do talk to someone. Because when you become isolated, you are just getting that negative feedback from yourself, because you have made yourself a victim. But you need that support. You do really need to
actually,
talk to someone.
It's really important that you mentioned that, because some people struggle with coming out of being a victim.
Yes.
You know, how do you, if somebody's watching now that's going through this stuff, how does that person come out from being the victim? Because obviously, when you're going to the police, and when the police is writing a report, they'll write a report based on you are the victim, you are the one going through the abuse, you know, you are the one going through the pain. But how does somebody who is going through this pain and abuse come out of being a victim? Like, how do they see themselves as, you know what, I'm going through this, but I'm not the victim?
Yes, I think the first thing is that they think it's my fault. If I do things differently, things might get better. But they don't get better. And when you start to think it's your fault all the time, and you're trying to do it different ways, but the situation is not going to improve because it's not your fault. So there is a difference. There are laws in place.
So it's not improving because it's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
That is significant.
Yes. That is why it's so important to talk to someone. I think it's so important. The reason I'm emphasizing that being a solicitor, I see men and women who are in a very difficult situation and probably want to leave their partners and apply for a divorce. And they come in not once to get the legal advice, they'll come 2 or 3 times, and I can see them, they're sitting on the fence, thinking that, okay, I'm going to see it for another few months, I'm going to see for another few months, which is a good thing, because you're trying. It should not, marriage should not be taken, or any relationship should not be taken lightly. You've got to work at it, you've got to compromise as well.
Yes.
But if it's not working, they do take, it's very difficult decision. And once they take that decision, this is what I want to do, and have clarity in your mind, to implement it, there is so much support there.
Wow.
But it's got to be your decision. It's got to come from you. But once the person making that decision, it is hard, Pauline. It's really hard to take that step, to just leave your home in any relationship.
To leave everything that you've built.
Yes.
And maybe sometimes you have children.
Yes.
So you need something to fall back on.
Yes.
Hence, organizations like Ladies of All Nations, organizations where no woman is going to judge you.
Yes.
You know, I see everybody that is in that organization, the ambassadors, the founder, the people that attend the events. There's nobody judging anyone.
Yes.
It's a place to find peace.
Yes.
It's a place to find solace, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, it's a place to celebrate. And I think this is a first, and this is a great. I've never been to an event that's celebrating survivors, an event that's giving them awards,
yes,
and just making them feel like, you know, you mean something.
Yes.
You know, for somebody who I have over 160 awards. Yes, I do. And wow. I'm not bragging, but I look at them, all of them, and they mean something to me, and they uplift me. Yes. I know somebody might just say, oh, that's just a plaque. How can it change you? Yes. How can it make you feel good? But there is a deeper meaning, yes, that somebody has actually come to celebrate you with life. Forget the plaque, but the fact, the gesture, yes, that you're being celebrated, yes, that you're being told that you matter, yes, that you're being told that your space and your life on earth, yes, is valid. Yes. It's beautiful, isn't it?
And it's just a celebration of and motivating you to actually do more of what you're doing.
Yes.
to give more. And I feel that, you know, I've been through that journey where I needed that emotional help from my family, and I was just focused on just surviving. But now I've come to that stage where I'm ready to give back to the community and the society, and that's very important. I think everyone, there's always something we can do.
So
and
it's
that
almost,
itself,
yeah, so it's almost like coming from surviving to thriving.
yes, so beautifully said. Yes,
Surviving to thriving.
yes,
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So guys, you can't miss on the 31st of March at the Cumberland Hotel in Marbleach, the Ladies of All Nations Survivors Award Ceremony and celebration is going to take place. You can actually nominate anybody that you feel, of course women, not men, on this occasion. On this occasion is men, yes, it's women, not men, that you feel deserve to be celebrated. Somebody that's gone through some sort of pain, but even though these people that you might know do not want to share their story, because some people are not ready to share their stories, we still want them to come so that we celebrate them, because people share their stories in time, isn't it? Look at you, it took you 30 years.
yes, about 27, 28 years.
28
yes.
years. And I'm sure there are times when maybe you met somebody and said, you know what, I think it's time for you to share your story.
Yes.
I think you should tell, you know, but then you thought it wasn't the right time for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're also encouraging, you know, ladies, if you're going through pain or if you have gone through pain, nobody's going to force you to share when you're not ready to share. When you are ready, you can share. But we still want you in that room with women who've gone through abuse but have survived and are now thriving. We want you in that room to feel like, you know what, you too can fly. You too can thrive.
And the platform is not just about if you have been through abuse, but
Yes.
if you have been through a disability or any terminal illness, any challenge in your life as
Yes.
a woman that you have overcome, you have survived, you can celebrate that. So it's a very broad spectrum of inviting women to celebrate the Women's International Day on the 31st of March.
Exactly. I mean, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's not just about the abuse. I mean, sometimes people go through pain of losing a business.
Yes.
You lose a business, you lose your home,
Yes.
you know, financial pain.
Yes.
You know, and then you come out the other side, you know, you thrive, you've survived it. Isn't that right?
Very true. Yeah.
So it's all sorts of survivors.
Yes.
An amazing room, and I can't wait. I look so forward to it. Now, for anybody that hasn't made up their mind, what would you tell them? What would be your last words to tell them?
Just stand before a mirror and just to self-reflect. I think that in itself would tell you a lot. And there's always a special journey among every woman has got a special journey. Do come forward and share it. It's not just about being awarded, but to share and nurture each other. That's actually something to celebrate. So look forward to everyone joining in on the 31st of March.
Fantastic. You know, Shalini, you inspire me. At 21, you wanted to have a crown on your head. Somebody stopped you. And now look at you. 30 years on, you have that crown. You are beautiful.
I can't believe it,
Beautiful.
Pauline. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well done, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the 31st, looking
Me too.
absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I'll try and outshine you on the red carpet. Thank you. Well, don't go away. When we do come back, we'll be talking with a star, somebody who has written 13 books. More when we come back.